Good morning.
Good morning.
I am Grant Alger. Is this on? I use he, him pronouns, and I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's multi-platform worship, where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today, members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. As we begin our service, please take a moment to silence your cell phones. Thank you.
That's our reminder to silence yourself.
Yeah. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our visitor center in the front hallway near where you came in. There you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram or Facebook at BucksmontUU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on screen for everyone now and will be shared again later in the service. If you'd like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, and other ways to gather with our community, you can find that on the homepage of our website, www.bucksmontuu.org. Whether you are a guest, friend, or member, we are glad you are part of our worship service today. There's a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. There will be a holiday game and movie night at 5 p.m. tonight. All are welcome for a fun night with cookies and cocoa. Please see the e-voice for more information. Let me adjust this. Okay. Bucksmonters, new attendees, and longtime members have enjoyed getting to know each other over casual dinners in members' homes last year. The next Circle Dinner will be held on Saturday, January 20th. You can sign up today in the social hall after the service. Sign-ups will continue through Sunday, January 7th, 2024. Bucksmont is filling 2 holiday baskets with food for families served by our community partner, the Immigrant Rights Action Organization. The baskets will be located in the welcoming area in front of the kitchen. Please see the e-voice for sign-up genius details. And now we have a special announcement from one of the many committees that make up our community.
I'm Nancy Hager, Chair of the Decorating Committee, which consists of a wonderful group of volunteers. I will let them tell you why they like to be part of this committee.
Hello, I am Nikki Vier. We create beautiful flower arrangements for Sunday services. We also decorate for holidays, celebrations, special occasions, and memorial services. We are always collaborating with different groups at Bucksmont as we coordinate our efforts.
Hi, I'm Karen Anderson. Our floral donation program provides an opportunity for members to celebrate special occasions by purchasing flowers to be used in the sanctuary, the social hall, and the lobby.
I'm Loretta Turner. in our own homes.
We invite you to join the Floral Decorating Committee. If you already enjoy arranging flowers, we welcome your talents, but no experience is needed. We will teach you an easy step-by-step process to create beautiful flower arrangements, and we do it all in a relaxed, fun group setting.
I'm Susie Hook. By creating lovely flowers for Bucksmont, we give back to the fellowship. Decorators take genuine pride in personalizing sponsored flowers, as well as in suiting flowers to the season and Sunday service theme.
I'm Chris Sherman. We meet monthly to discuss and share ideas on how to make our fellowship warm and inviting.
We work on a flexible schedule, volunteering when it's convenient for us. And we have a lot of fun working together as a team of 2 or 3 sharing our creativity and inspirations.
I am Tracy Blakeney. One of the joys of working on this committee is getting together and going places. For example, last year members went to Longwood Gardens and also the Bowman Hill Wildflower Preserve. We enjoy spending time together, learning more about flowers, but also getting to know each other better. If this appeals to you, please stop by our table in the social hall after the service and let's chat.
As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday and those who may be watching months from now. We are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless religious congregation in the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship. We join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today with words from D.C. Fortune. We light this chalice as a symbol of our free faith. We light this chalice to remember the miracle of the oil that burned for 8 days. We light this chalice to mark the nights of midwinter. We light this chalice as we wait for the sun to return. Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
Good morning. My name is Lynn Nugent. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm going to be your hymn leader today. We are doing the prelude, and it's going to be participatory, You'll hear some music, and then I'm going to give a signal, and Diane is going to lead us in some dancing.
your breath. Okay. This morning, we recognize our connections with Jewish traditions. Tonight is the fourth night of Hanukkah. The menorah is traditionally lit at sunset each night of Hanukkah. We have a tradition at Bucksmont of lighting it the Sunday morning or mornings that fall during the holiday each year. Amanda Udis Kessler writes, "We light the Hanukkah candles in wonder, joy, and gratitude, each candle a miracle. When the Holy Temple was rededicated at the time of the Maccabean liberation battle, only 1 day's worth of oil remained. Yet it burned for 8 days, so we light candles in remembrance. We rededicate ourselves to the miracle of light in the season of darkness, to the miracle of trust in a time of anxiety, to the miracle of hope in time of despair, to the miracle of faith in the time of cynicism. We rededicate ourselves to the miracle of wholeness in time of fracture, to the miracle of courage in a time of fear, to the miracle of resistance in a time of oppression, to the miracle of peace in the time of violence. And in a time of hatred, we rededicate ourselves to the miracle of love. And so we light, we remember, we rededicate."
Hi, I'm Diane Green, and I'm going to sing the blessing in Hebrew. And if you know it, you can sing along with me.
We do have a water and fire extinguisher under here if anything goes too awry, everyone. All right. This morning also marks the second Sunday in the season of Advent. In the Christian tradition, Advent is the beginning of the church year, recognizing the transforming power of God in the world and looking forward toward the birth of Jesus and the celebration of spiritual light. And Christianity is not alone in celebrating light at this time of year. Hanukkah, solstice, and Kwanzaa all involve candles, fire, and lights as part of their celebrations. Each week until Christmas, we light a new candle on the Advent wreath. The circle of greenery reminds us of the eternal cycle of all life, without beginning or end. And the candles remind us that we are each called to emit our glow amid the pain and suffering facing our world. The light of Advent grows brighter and brighter, guiding us toward personal peace, shared joy, and more love. This morning, we light the second candle. We light this candle as a symbol of our longing for peace. We bring our hope into the world when we practice peacemaking. Our caring community aspires to be a source of freedom from violence and exclusion. Our caring community aspires to be a source of freedom from violence and exclusion. May we become the ones we have been waiting for, as June Jordan writes. Together, may we strive to create lasting peace.
Come on up for the Wonder Box, everyone. My name is Melissa Sperringer. I am the Director of Religious Education. My pronouns are she, her. Gigi and Leota, why don't you scoot this way? Everyone, come on. We got a lot of kids. We're growing, woohoo! Who would like to open the Wonder Box today? Oh. Nate, I think you've had a turn recently. Can we let someone else do it? I know. Kai, why don't you come on up? Yeah? Here. Okay, all you have to do is lift the cover. You got this. Do you want to scoot it closer to you? Do you know what those are? No, let's see. Does anyone know what these are? Yeah, you guys can say it out loud. Dreidels, yes. So what are dreidels? Yeah, go ahead.
It's a thing we play on Hanukkah.
Yes, it is a game we play on Hanukkah. So the way it works is we have this really fun candy coins. Who knows what these are called? Go ahead. Coins sometimes, yeah. I think formally they're called gelts. Yes? Gelts, yeah. Good job, Nate. And this is, everyone gets some to start. You put one in the center, and everyone takes turns spinning the dreidel. You spin it like this. Oh, that was a good one. And however it lands tells you what to do. So this symbol here, we want to pass these around so you guys can get a closer look. Dylan, can you pass one behind you and one next to you? This way they're all circling at the same time. Thank you. All right, so this one that looks like a backwards C is called Nun. That means nothing happens on your turn. This one, Shin, with the 3 prongs, that one means that you put one of your coins, one of your gelts, into the middle pile so that somebody else can take it. It's kind of like the sharing symbol. This one, Hey, means that you get to take half of the pot in the middle and put it into your pile. That's a good one, isn't it? Because then you get more chocolate coins. And then the last one, Gimel, means that you win and you get to take the whole pot of chocolate coins. Which one would you guys want to land on? None? No chocolate for Matt. Anyone else have a differing opinion? Gimel. Yeah, I'd want to land on Gimel so I'd get the whole bucket, right? Gimel, you too? Yeah, sometimes I bet you do. Does anyone else have anything that they want to share about? Has anyone played the dreidel game? Yeah? No? Okay. Well, we have some dreidels that you guys can use, and maybe next year it will be a fun thing to add to your Hanukkah traditions. All right. Thank you, everyone.
The offering and liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of December, we are sharing with Rolling Harvest. Rolling Harvest collects fresh vegetables from local farmers and distributes them to the less fortunate through local free food pantries. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of our worship service, or you may place your donation into one of the baskets as they are passed around. We will now receive the morning offering. Our community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful. This morning's reading is God Has No Borders by Rod Richards. We humans are line drawers. We are the border makers. We are the boundary testers. We are the census takers. We draw a line to separate this from that so we can see clearly what each is. We create a border to define our place so we can take care of what's there. We test boundaries to find if they are real, if they are necessary, if they are just. We congregate within those boundaries in families and tribes and cities and countries that we call us. And we call people on the other side them. But our minds seek boundaries that our hearts know not. The lines we draw disappear when viewed with the eyes of compassion. The recognition of human kinship does not end at any border. A wiser part of us knows that the other is us and we them. Let justice flow like water and peace like a never-ending stream. Let compassion glow like sunlight and love like an ever-shining beam. The rain, the sunshine, the breeze, the life-giving air we breathe, they know no boundaries. Neither do our empathy, our goodwill, our concern for one another. God has no borders. Love has no borders. Let us lift up the awareness of our unity as we celebrate our awesome diversity on this beautiful day.
This month, we are weaving two themes throughout our Sundays together. The first theme is pluralism. This word might not be super inspiring, or might feel a bit abstract as a theme for a month filled with holidays and gatherings, but I think it is apt nonetheless. Pluralism is about practicing who we are deeply and existing as who we are proudly, alongside others who are different from us. This could be about racial categories, or sexual orientation, or gender, or ethnicity, or religion. The month of December in this congregation is one where our pluralism becomes more obvious than other times of year. We try to hold multiple traditions in this one community, not because each and every one of us has an Advent wreath at home or follows the 8 Sabbaths of earth-centered traditions with the upcoming winter solstice. Not all of us are lighting menorahs at home each night, and not all of us decorate for Christmas either. And yet we try to hold some of this multiplicity here together each Sunday in our own way. It is imperfect. We do not expect every practice we center here will be the ones you practice in your own families. And we know that not every practice held by our families is centered in a Sunday service. And yet we do what we can. Pluralism is about allowing space for different answers to what it means to be human and what traditions we find meaning in. Pluralism does not mean we arrive at sameness, but rather that we coexist amidst difference. My own family practiced pluralism without really thinking about it or using that term when I was young. My parents were both decidedly Christian, Lutheran in particular, as is common in Minnesota, though not really active with it beyond holidays and major life passages. My grandmother was Baptist, and in my memory, never went to church. My stepbrother married a Catholic girl from a few towns over, and a branch of my family became Jehovah's Witnesses. However, a more observant branch of my family belonged to one of my favorite aunts, Janet, who married a Jewish man, converted, and raised her children Jewish. She's still very active in her synagogue. As a child, some years I would get to celebrate Hanukkah with them. We played games with dreidels, exchanged presents, and had amazing latkes. As an adult, going to her home for her annual Hanukkah parties were some of the most joy and laughter-filled holidays in my memory. The curious thing I recall over the course of my life is that none of this was a worry to anyone in our family. We'd have Thanksgiving meals, birthdays, family reunions, Christmas and Hanukkah celebrations. Some family came to some of these things, some didn't come to everything. Either the worry was kept quiet, or people didn't worry much. It seemed to me that we were practicing a form of pluralism without knowing or naming it. Our second theme of December, along with pluralism, is how our various holidays answer the question, how does a weary world rejoice? It is news to no one that this time of year, it can be hard to be in a celebratory mood. Holidays during the pandemic were forever transformed. Holidays when our individual lives are turned upside down can feel labored at best. And our holidays and traditions have the potential to ground us and renew us during the most challenging times in our lives as well. I want to share multiple approaches to how to celebrate and honor the spirit of Hanukkah in a time marked by deep pain in Israel, in Gaza, and around the world, as ripples of hate travel as fast as our digital age can carry them. Both articles I draw on were published on December 8th, 2023. Perhaps one or more or none are the approach that feels right to you in this moment. That's okay. These approaches are imperfect too. First, approaches that highlight celebration. In a CNN story, Catherine Schweichette writes about multiple people's changed Hanukkah celebrations this year. Here are two examples. Richard Sills from Seattle. It's been decades since his family kept a menorah in the window when he was a boy. This year, for the first time at age 70, he decided to display one in the window of his own home. I want to stand up for my heritage and for all Jews, he says. I want to do the opposite of hide. He's long known about the tradition of placing Hanukkah menorahs in windows during the holiday, but he never felt it was something he needed to do as an adult until now. My feelings have changed about Hanukkah a little bit this year, he says. Sills says he was shaken by anti-Semitic chants and signs during recent protests on the streets of Seattle, and the news that someone sent suspicious packages with white powder to synagogues in the area was also chilling. It does hit close to home, Sills says, but it makes me more determined not to hide, not to be afraid, but to stand with all my Jewish family around the world. With so many things out of his control, he says he finds strength in his decision to place a menorah in the window. It's empowering, he says. And in Chicago, Scott Howard grew up in a multicultural community, and the 45-year-old who works in sales says he takes pride in raising his kids to appreciate diversity. They're an interfaith family, and when the holiday season rolls around, they have inflatable decorations celebrating both Christmas and Hanukkah on their lawn outside Chicago. This year, Howard says his 12-year-old daughter, who'd always loved the display, asked him a question he wasn't expecting. Should we not put up our Hanukkah decorations this year? He quickly reassured her, but it gave him pause. It was kind of a reflective moment and a sad moment to hear from a 12-year-old who is still kind of innocent and pure, her thinking about the world, he says. Howard thought about his ancestors and about his not-so-distant relatives, too. He also thought about Arab friends he'd grown up with and the discrimination they'd faced. This is what they had to deal with, he thought. Howard says he told his daughter she should be proud of her identity. We're a culmination of generations of family members that lived meaningful lives so we could be here and be who we are today. Whether someone is Jewish, Arab, Black, gay, or anything else, he said, they should be who they are and should not be worried to be themselves. Last week, they put the inflatable menorah on their lawn once again. Next, an approach that highlights interpretation. In a Time magazine article entitled Hanukkah and the Miracle of Resistance, Stephanie Fox writes, each year in the darkest days of winter, Hanukkah reliably arrives. We kindle lights and discuss the possibility of miracles. Each year is different. We return to Hanukkah a little older and altered by the changes within ourselves, our communities, and the world. This year is darker than any I've lived through. Like so many grieving both Palestinian and Israeli loved ones, these past 2 months have brought the deepest horror and heartbreak of my life. This year, as the Hamas-Israel war unfolds, Fox continues. In my despair, I'm clinging to sacred Jewish tradition of interpretation, of meaning-making, of midrash. Particularly, I'm clinging to the fact that Hanukkah is a story about Jewish resistance to oppression. For some, It is about the small band of Jewish fighters, the Maccabees, who battled for power and land and won the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem. The idea underlying this focus of the story is that might is right. In this telling, Jewish liberation comes through endless militarism, dominance, and territorial control. But for Fox, the real miracle in the story is the opposite. The rabbis of the Talmud, who rejected this focus on militarism, chose for the prophetic portion on Shabbat the lines in Zechariah chapter 4, verse 6. Not by might, nor by power, but by spirit. Amidst our absolute horror at this moment, we are teaching our young people and reminding ourselves that bombs don't lead to peace, and that a future of Jewish liberation is only possible through spirited commitment to liberation for Palestinians too. That resistance to oppression is not only about self-protection, but about building a world where everyone is free and safe. Fox continues. Israeli and Palestinian safety and lives are intertwined. Imagine a shared future rooted in a society without supremacy, domination, and oppression, a lasting peace built on the basis of freedom, justice, and equality for all. Imagine for a moment replacing the racist fantasy of a land without a people with the reality of a land for all of the people. The miracle of resistance Fox chooses to honor this Hanukkah is the one favored by the rabbis of the diaspora. When the Maccabees restored the temple, they only found 1 jar of oil, barely enough to keep the menorah lit for 1 day. Yet it lasted 8 days, the time it takes to press olives into a new jar of oil. This Hanukkah, she wants to teach her 5-year-old to really study the miracle of that oil. There is enough. There is enough for everyone. How we practice pluralism, how we celebrate our holidays, and how we call for peace in a weary world are all interwoven. Today is also the second Sunday of Advent, and today's candle is for peace. I can't help but notice the interweaving of that candle's light and the light of the menorah and the light of our chalice, all reminding us of the miracle that there can be enough. And our reading this morning reminds us that we humans are line drawers, we are border makers, we are the boundary testers, but our minds seek boundaries that our hearts know not. The lines we draw disappear when viewed with the eyes of compassion. The recognition of human kinship does not end at any border. A wiser part of us knows that the other is us and we them. God has no borders. Love has no borders. Let us lift up the awareness of our unity as we celebrate our awesome diversity on this beautiful day. What might it mean to practice a love that has no borders? A love that holds that who we are matters and who our neighbors are matter in equal measure. Pluralism is about being who we are proudly and the belief that our neighbors can do the same. How we do that is always imperfect. Sometimes it is about sharing our traditions with those who are curious. Sometimes it is about re-engaging in the traditions of our childhood. Sometimes it is about reinterpreting our traditions in light of the present moment. Sometimes it is about working for the rights of others to be who they are. And sometimes it is about bravely being ourselves, even when it makes others uncomfortable. It takes practice to know which approach to employ in different situations. My childhood experiences of Hanukkah hold both naivete and the privilege of growing up Christian in the United States. I've never once wondered what people's reaction would be to Christmas lights in my window or a tree lit up on display. I want to live in a world where the symbols of our deepest held beliefs can glow brightly, where we can wear the markers of our identities without fear of violence. And I want to be a part of a community, locally and globally, that values life over all else. Rejoicing in Hanukkah can be about all of these interpretations and celebrations, not just one or two. We can hold joy in our holidays, while at the same time we call forth a different world from the one in which we find ourselves in this present moment. We can be both deeply rooted in who we are and interwoven with people who are rooted in who they are, because that too is a theme of the holidays we celebrate and the traditions we carry forward when they are doing their best work in us. They simultaneously have the power to remind us of where we come from and inspire us to create a world we have never yet experienced. In the words of my colleague, the Reverend David Miller, in the midst of crisis, can we look for humanity? In the midst of pain, can we provide comfort? In the midst of conflict, can we center reconciliation? In the midst of religion, can we practice love? In the midst of the world, let us find beauty. In the midst of the present, let us work for the future. In the midst of what's broken, let us promise compassion. In the midst of the other, let us see the divine. So may it be.
All right, so you have work to do. This one's easy. Yai lai 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 lai. That's an easy one. Okay, next slide, Howard. Ki va moed. Also not tricky. Next. Oh, more yai lai lais. Keep going. More ki va moeds. Ah, this is the tricky one. Say od. Od yavo. Od yavo shalom. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Only it's like Od yavo shalom aleinu. 1, 2, give it a try. Me first. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Yeah, it's a little. You guys gotta wake up. Od yavo shalom aleinu. Excellent. Please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing Ki Va Moed.
Ki va moed.
We've danced, we've sang, we've celebrated, we've listened, we've contemplated, and now let us enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries. Connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are each but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. We join our attention with words from D. Scott Cooper. We bow our heads in order to imagine not one path, but many. We imagine a path forward for those who cannot imagine any path forward because of poor health, financial hardship, family crises, and other roadblocks we cannot begin to understand or imagine. We struggle to imagine a path forward for those who are forced to leave a homeland against their will, and those unable to leave a war-torn homeland despite their lives being in danger. We imagine a path forward for those who leave their homes to make a better life for their families elsewhere. May we be a welcoming presence along that path toward hope. We come together to imagine a path forward for those of us despairing because we do not seem to know our country nor our neighbors, despite the fact that we have not moved at all. May we be the good we are hoping to find as we travel side by side down the path toward hope. We imagine a path forward for those who feel lonely. May we take one another's hands as we walk that path toward community. Truly we know as we imagine these ways forward and take one another's hands, the paths will lead to hope. The roads will lead to beloved community, and the arc will bend toward justice because we have dared to travel with love in our hearts. We now join together in a time of silence. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both the sorrows and the joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another. We hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning we are lighting candles, still more candles, to mark the important moments in our lives. Each candle adds to the collective light of this community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, text the number that is now on screen. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you gather with us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Grant will light a candle on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your first and last name with what you share. And now we will light a final candle for all of the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With words spoken and candles lit, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning, and the many, many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing our final hymn, number 223, Rock of Ages.
Thank you.
Our chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Kevin W. Jago. When the candle dims, the wax almost spent, the light turns amber like a sunset. Still it provides light, still it provides warmth, still it can kindle new flame, and pass its glow on and contribute to new illumination. When sunsets turn to new days, when seasons transform all, when the candle dims, all is not lost. Together we are a blessing for one another. Hope continues, uncertain and true, like candlelight ready to spark again. All is not lost.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of interpretation, one of celebration. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.